Hi, so we are now live, and it's time for Grandma Reads a Story, and this program is a joint program with the Foster Grandparents Program of Oakland County, sponsored by Catholic Charities of Southeastern Michigan and the Pontiac Public Library. And I'm so happy today to have with us Grandma Bender, and she's going to read us a couple stories. So take it away, Grandma Bender.
Hey, hello. How are you? I'm glad to be back with you today. We have two great books we're going to read. The first one is called The Hallelujah Flight, and it was written by Phil Bildner. And at the beginning of the book, there's a note from the author which says, this book was based on actual events. This picture book should be considered a work of fiction. However, the message here is grounded in truth. James Banning sought to inspire and spur others to act. Perhaps this book will do the same for young readers. So we're going to get started with our book today, The Hallelujah Flight. The day I first met James Banning, he said, Mr. Allen, my dream is to fly a plane from sea to shining sea. And this here OXX6 Eagle Rock is our plane. But first, I'll need you to overhaul the engine. I just about coughed up my coffee. Replace the entire engine? How will we pay for that? Times were hard, and most folks didn't have a nickel to spare. I've got an idea, Banning replied. Whenever people give us food, fuel, and supplies along the way, they can write their names on the tip of the wing. They'll fly into the history books right along with us. That just might work, I declared. See the plane? Banning and I got right down to business fixing our plane. The crew from the airport thought we'd about lost our marbles. You'll be lucky if you get that crate 2 inches off the ground, cried the carpenter. Even luckier if it lasts 2 minutes in the air, echoed the engineer. They're a pair of hobos, mocked the mechanic. The Flying Hobos, they all called us.
Wow.
Nevertheless, on the afternoon of September 19th, 1932, we Flying Hobos climbed into the crammed cockpits of the OXX6 Eagle Rock and took off from Dicer Airport on the outskirts of Los Angeles. Here we go, Banning cried. What a racket it made. The engine whined, my fittings creaked, and the tail section rattled. On top of that, our plane seemed to have a mind all its own. Without any warning, it rocketed into a rise and then shot down into a dive. It kept us on our toes, hundreds of feet in the air. That first day, we didn't even make it out of California. Then again, we weren't really expecting to. We just wanted to be sure our plane could fly. When we landed after the first leg of the trip, I inspected our plane from nose to tail. We have a leaky pump, I said. I'm going to need some tools and parts. It's time we put your plan to the test. Banning and I headed into town and asked for help. At first, like the airport workers, the locals thought we were missing a few screws. However, as soon as we told them they could sign their names on the wing, every last one of them pitched in to help.
Wow.
Bright and early the next morning, we headed on our way, flying over the desert of Southern California, the cozy cockpits heated up like ovens. It's too hot, I yelled. Do what I do, Banning hollered back. Suddenly, Banning was unhooking his overalls and unbuttoning his shirt. In a matter of moments, the two of us were flying in nothing but our underwear. The next leg of our journey took us flying hobos over the state of Arizona. We soared high above the Grand Canyon, the painted desert, and the petrified forest. As nightfall neared, Banning spotted a familiar airfield in the distance. In the dark, Banning made his approach. He banked us around a group of mountains, and after almost sideswiping a silo, he slammed the plane down on the runway. The moment my feet touched the good earth, I cried, "Hallelujah! Hallelujah, right back at you," Banning replied. The airport manager greeted us. "Hey, ain't you that fella who blew out them tires landing here some time ago?" "Perhaps," Banning answered cautiously. "Why do you ask?" "Well, I'll be," the manager yelled. "Thanks to that little accident of yours, the city built us this brand spanking new runway. How can we ever repay you?" Banning's face lit up like a light bulb. "Well, we'd be honored if you would sign the tip of our wing. And for good measure, how about sending us off with some food and gasoline?" The next day, we were back on our way. However, as we headed on east, we encountered some far more dangerous than hot weather and nightfall: prejudice.
Uh-oh.
At one stop, all we wanted was to use a washroom. "Climb back into that contraption of yours," the airport supervisor barked, "and go back to where you came from." At another stop, we wandered into town to find some food. "We don't serve your kind around here," the waiter growled. "You ain't good enough for our eats." We turned tail and flew off for our lives. "Hallelujah," I said when the plane's wheels lifted off the dirt. "Hallelujah, right back at you," Banning replied.
Oh.
Our fortunes turned in Oklahoma, where we were able to rely on the kindness of family and friends. "Y'all look like you need some clean clothes and a warm bath," Mama Allen said when we stopped in Oklahoma City. "I smell y'all before you cross the state line." "Here are some fresh vegetables," said my high school sweetheart. "You boys need to stay healthy up there." "Take these plugs from my plow," said Bannon's brother in El Reno, "in case you get any more leaks. And here are some sandwiches," said his cousin. "I'll make as many as you can fit." Of course, they all signed their names to the wing of our flying jalopy. From Springfield, Illinois, to Terre Haute, Indiana, to Columbus, Ohio, we flew without problems. But heading into Pittsburgh, we ran into a ferocious storm, the worst one of the entire journey. "We're going down," Banning cried as he pulled up on the throttle to avoid a cluster of trees. "But where's the airfield?" I shouted. "Airfield? I'm aiming for that wheat field." On the landing, both wings buckled and part of the nose fell off. But somehow we made it down in one piece. "Hallelujah," I told my pilot and friend. "Hallelujah, right back at you," he replied.
Wow.
"Rise and shine," Banning said the next morning with the first signs of light. I can almost taste the salt of the Atlantic Ocean. We jostled by Johnstown, hiccuped past Harrisburg, and dipped over the Delaware before finally landing at Mercer Airport in West Trenton, New Jersey. After 3,300 miles and 21 days, we had just one small hop to go.
Oh, wow.
On Sunday morning, October the 9th, 1932, James Banning piloted our OXX6 Eagle Rock over New York Harbor. We saluted the Statue of Liberty before turning toward Valley Stream Airport in Long Island, New York. "Hallelujah," I cried. "Hallelujah, right back at you," Banning replied for the final time.
Wow.
We received a hero's welcome in Harlem. A banquet dinner was held in our honor, and hundreds lined the streets just to shake our hands. "You call yourselves the Flying Hobos," a reporter called out as we greeted the throng. "But have you got a name for this adventure?" Can you guess what the name is going to be? We grabbed hands and raised our arms to the heavens. The Hallelujah Flight. The end.
Wow.
Great book.
Wow. What a story. Yeah. Wow. So, what point would you give up on that flight?
Say what?
What point would have you have given up on that flight?
Ooh.
And that people were saying that rattle trap, you'll never get it up in the air, and if you do, it only lasts a couple minutes up in the air. I mean, it was then, or when you were
I think
it kept going up really fast and then down really fast and up
I
really
know.
fast and down. And then were they found the oil leak? I mean, at what point? When they crashed?
I think so. When they said the front part fell off, I would have been a little skeptical about getting back in it.
I don't think going up real fast, woo, and then down real fast. I don't think. I think that would have been it for me.
Yeah, but they were determined they were going to finish the flight.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Is everybody said no? You can't do it. That's that rattle trap and that jalopy or that whole called them a bunch of hobos. And,
I know.
no air conditioning, I mean, they're going over the desert, no air conditioning, and a plane, a hot metal plane is metal all around you.
I know.
know.
And they took that flight with that airplane, and it shows you in the book how far they went. I know it told us in miles, But here it shows you they went from Los Angeles, California, all the way across till they got to New York City. And that's a long way across.
Yeah. Yeah. It's based on something that really happened in 1932, too.
Mm-hmm.
And they dealt with prejudice, and they, you know, they still kept on going. It let anybody or anything. It's just amazing.
Yes, they were determined to finish it.
Yes. Thank you so much for reading that. What did you like the best about it?
Oh, their determination and how they work together. And how they encourage people to help them.
Weren't they smart?
Yes, they were.
Say, well, you know, you write your names on the plane, but I mean, it occurred to me, well, writing your names doesn't do much good if you crash.
But they told him you'll be a part of history, flying along with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so what is our next story? Thank you so much.
Our next story is Dancing in the Wings by Debbie Allen. I'll show you the picture first.
Okay.
Ever since I was born and could see, everywhere I looked, I saw dance. In the clouds as the wind blew them across the sky, in the ripples on a pond, even in the sea of ants marching up and down their heels, dance was all around me. Dance was me. My mom calls me sassy because I like to put my hands on my hips and because I always have something to say. Well, if you had feet as big as mine, you'd understand why. I'm going to show you that again.
Wow, look at that attitude.
Yes. You should join the swimming team since you got those long toes and don't need any fins, my older brother Huey teased. I shot right back. At least I don't have that big forehead looking like a street lamp. Mama said, stop all that bad talk. You act so ugly sometimes. Huey, your big head is a sign of intelligence. And Sassy, your big feet will make your legs look longer and prettier in your ballet shoes. My legs were longer, all right. So long that when I went to tend to point my toe at the bar, I tripped Miss Catherine, our teacher, who was coming down the line, looking the other way. Splat! She landed under the piano, her legs up in the air. Ooh, it was so funny. Even she had to laugh. Sassy, she called out, I'm going to the orange bowls on those big feet. Sorry, Miss Catherine, I answered. But if you don't wear your glasses, you still won't see them. One thing for sure, because of my long legs and big feet, I could jump higher and spin faster than anyone else. I was taller than the rest of the kids at school, even the boys. At our recitals, all the other girls got to dance solos and duets and wear pretty tutus. I was too big for the boys to pick up and too tall to be in line with the other girls. So I watched from backstage, dancing in the wings, hoping that if I just kept dancing and trying, it would be my turn to dance in the spotlight.
Oh, wow.
One day at the end of ballet class, Miss Catherine announced, Mr. DeBato from the Russian school is coming next week to look for talented young people for the Summer Dance Festival in Washington, D.C. The whole room turned into a whirlpool of excitement as the sign-up sheet was posted. Everyone wanted to try, especially me. But as I wrote my name down, I heard two girls, Molly and Mona, giggling. Mona said, "Oh, please, she'll never make it." They said talent, not a tyrannosaurus. My heart seemed to stand still. For once, I had nothing to say. I couldn't hide the tears I felt welling up in my eyes. So I just grabbed my dance bag and ran to the parking lot. I heard a familiar horn honk and turned to see my Uncle Red in his bright green pickup truck. Uncle Red had the whitest, tight, curly hair, smell of cigars, and every day wore something red, a tie, a hat, a shirt, socks, maybe even his shoestring, just something red. Why of all days did Mama have to send him to pick me up? Why today? I was not in the mood for his jokes or stories, but I quickly tried to dry my eyes and smile. I got a good one for you today, Sassy. What did the banana say to the monkey? Split. Ha ha. Get it? Split. Banana split. I started to cry. Sassy, what's wrong? He asked. I told him what had happened. I'm just so much taller than the other dancers, Uncle Red. Sassy, he said, you gotta look at that as a gift. Being tall means you can see all around, so you can always find the right path to take. No, I said, it means I stick out like a big acne bump on someone's nose. I'll never get to dance. It's a waste of time to go to that audition. Listen, Gail, said Uncle Red, if I was as tall and pretty as you, I wouldn't need to wear red so people know it's me coming and going. All you gotta do to make your mark on the world is walk into the room.
Wow.
By the time I got home, Uncle Red had cheered me on, had me laughing and feeling better. As I got out of his truck, he waved goodbye, calling out, make your mark, Gail. Huey and his football friends stopped playing. Huey yelled out, hey, Sassy, why don't you come and play with us? We need a goal post. His little mean, ugly friends laughed. Boy, did that make me mad. Sure, if we can use your big head for the ball, I shouted back. His friends screamed with laughter. Huey got so mad, he turned red, looking like a tomato with that big head. Ha! We were just about to go at each other when Mama called us inside.
Smart Mama.
Yes. Late that night, I lay awake, staring out my window and thinking about Uncle Red's words. I could see myself dancing on the Milky Way, swirling like a twinkling shooting star. Next thing I knew, I was talking to myself out loud. I'm going to that audition, big feet and all.
Yay.
On the day of the tryout, kids came from all over the city. It was so crowded. Everyone was expected to wear black. But like Uncle Red, I picked my own color, bright yellow. And instead of standing in the back, I squares between Molly and Mona, right in the front row. I ignored their snickering. Miss Catherine came in and introduced Mr. DeVito. Everyone applauded. Boy, was he short. Couldn't have been more than 4 feet 9 inches tall. He started walking down the road, pacing back and forth, just looking at us. Then he stopped right in front of me and said, "Young lady, why are you wearing that loud yellow leotard? I'll need to put on sunglasses to see anyone else. Please go to the back row." Molly whispered, "See ya, wouldn't want to be ya." At least he noticed me, I snapped. I put my hands on my hips and walked to the back. The first round of the audition was center floor exercises. Mr. DeBato walked around prodding and poking, making corrections. He stopped once and looked right at me, but didn't say a word. I held my breath as he dismissed almost half the kids after the first round, but not me. Next was the Adagio, the slow section. I stood as close to Mona as I could get and whispered, "Your little skinny short legs are gonna look like chicken wings next to mine. I'd rather look like a chicken than a turkey, like you with that long neck," she answered. "Talk to the hand," I told her. I took my leg up so high it got stuck. Luckily, I could balance on my other big foot, so I just held it until Mr. DeBato remarked, "Young lady, the exercise is finished." "Oh," I jumped out of position. "Show off," Molly grunted. "Gobble, gobble." Mona imitated a turkey. Then came the leaps across the floor. I took off like Jackie Joyner Kersey in the long jump at the Olympics. With one leap, I sailed in the air past all the other girls. Molly and Mona watched, looking pea green with envy. When I finished, Mr. DeBato yelled, "Young lady, you must learn to dance to the music. Up on the count of 1, down on the count of 3. 3, not 5. You have the rhythm of a troglodyte." Again, I was crushed. As I passed Mona to get back in line, she said, "Next time, bring your big butt down by 3. "Your mama," I said. Ooh, did I wish I was a wizard? I'd turn them into 2 big fat frogs in Tudos trying to hip hop.
Wow. She's sure getting stuff.
By the time of the day, there were only 7 of us left. Mr. DeBato called out everyone's name except mine and asked them to step forward. Standing alone, I really had to fight to hold back my tears. Then I heard him say, "Thank you all for coming today. Keep working. Keep trying. You are dismissed." Mr. DeBato said to me, "Sassy, you have a great deal of potential. You have beautiful long arms and legs, but you flail about with no control. You must learn to use your feet better and timing. We have a lot of work to do when you come to Washington this summer, but please leave that loud yellow leotard at home. All you need to do to be noticed is walk into a room. Dismissed. He walked out. Jumping and shouting, I ran to the parking lot. I made it. I made it, Mama. I made it. Guess who was there to pick me up? Mama, Uncle Red, Huey, and half his football team piled in the back of the green truck on their way to a game. Everybody was so proud of me, even Huey. You go, Miss Bigfoot. Thank you, Mr. Big Head, I said. We all laughed. One month later, Mama and I boarded the plane for Washington, D.C. She held my hand as my heart pounded when we landed. At the school, there were young dancers from Russia, Mexico, France, China, Cuba, Brazil, New York, Texas, and a long-legged me from Inglewood, California. In class the first day, Mr. DeBato introduced me to his 20-year-old protege, a boy named Dwight, who was 5 feet 10 inches tall. Dwight, I think I have found you a partner. Meet Sassy. Mama was right. Being tall wasn't so bad after all, and neither was having a big head. By the end of the summer, Huey had won the grand prize at Space Camp in Alabama, and I got to dance a duet with Dwight in the summer concert. When Dwight lifted me high in the air, I felt like I was dancing on the Milky Way, me and my big feet, making my mark on the world. The end.
Wow, there she is. Wow. So, what did you like about, what was that you enjoyed so much about this story?
That she did not listen to people or her friends to decide what she should do. And she was determined that she was going to dance after she got the encouragement from her uncle.
Okay. So how are these stories the same? What is similar about them?
They were talking about young people. Both of them were young in both stories, and they both had determination, and they didn't give up on their dreams.
Yeah. Did they face people giving them a hard time too? And both of them.
Yes, they did.
And it wasn't easy.
Well, not at all.
So that takes something special to be able to do that, because it's really hard. Us human beings, we're social people, and if somebody says something to us or makes fun of us or says we can't do something, there's a tendency to say, hey, believe it.
Yeah, most of the time we will. But there's always somebody to be there to encourage you to go on with your dreams.
Oh, I love that, Grandma Bender. So if children are having maybe a discouraging day, or having people tease them, or they heard something upsetting and feeling a less than, what would you say? What would you say? These stories said that children or adults, if they're having those kind of days, should do what?
Well, I was thinking about it and how you always got your parents or family behind you. And it was always somebody in the family that encouraged them to go on. Like with Dancing in the Wings, her mom always had some positive to say about her, even though she did have big feet and she had long legs. She always had some positive to say to her.
sometimes you got to look for somebody around you. It could be at school, or it could be in your family, or it could be a grandpa or grandma Bender, or somebody around you, or teacher. Sometimes you have to look for those people.
You do, and
They're there.
listen to them when they talking to you, especially if they saying something positive.
Yeah. Well, I just love these two stories, and thank you so much, Grandma Bender, for doing such a great job
Well, thank you.
reading them. Made me laugh and made me sad at points. Just two wonderful stories. So thank you so much.
Okay.
We will be back next week for Grandma Reads a Story. There's the last couple weeks in December. We it's close to Christmas. Everybody's Christmas shopping, or they're busy. So we will continue next week. So take care.
Okay.
Wishing
Happy
everybody a
holidays.
happy day.